Welcome to our 2018 College Forum. I just want to have some small open notes. While we doing this, we come back to introduce this. Hope more people coming away. I just want to see that it's a problem in the college campus. You also heard this quote, right? Houston, we have a problem, right? So we know that's a problem. What are the problems in college? Money, right? This is that easy. Yeah. The student loan surpassed 1.48 trillion. Every student almost $40,000. Is that true? More. Oh. So you see that's a big problem there. And then college is a dangerous place. Right? Maybe later we can talk about this. Welcome. 25 now? Wow. See? Okay, this is 2014. Okay. So you see this, the culture is not a safe place for our college students. Drinking, drugs, okay. And mainly we want to talk about is church. Many our own people go to college and then go turn it back. So that's something why we're going to hold for this forum. I hope through our college students, they are sharing, they are talking, that we can get to know them, get to know the issue more, and hope we can do something together. Alright, so thank you for coming here for this. Let me introduce our speakers so they can sit on the stage. Okay? So how about just follow the sequence, okay? Rebecca. Senior for Cornell University, study human development. Okay, later when your turn to share, you can introduce yourself more. Next, Katie Chen. I think how to pronounce the name. Resilier Polytechnic. RPI, architecture. Then we have Samantha. We studied Cornell University Shell Performance. And then we have all main guys. Jimmy. He graduated last year from University of Rochester, major in finance economics. Okay, so today we're going to just turn the time to each one of them. They're going to share some time. Oh, now 翻译一下了，需要翻译了。Okay, it's okay. So each one of them, they're going to share their college life related to those issues. Take turn on this, and later on, I think we can have open forum, open questions. If you want to particular student 我们先让他们每个人都会有一些分享他们的生活在大学所面对的一些挑战，然后完了以后呢，我们就可以开放给大家，或是大家想发问 ，or if other college student you here you want to add on some more, welcome, okay? Or parents, we were college student before, right? So hopefully we can be very flexible, very open, and have a good dialogue. All right, so let's first welcome Rebecca.
Okay. Yeah, so I go to Cornell. I'm studying human development. I'm a pre-med, so I'm aspiring to be a doctor.
I 还有谁听不懂英文的？好，你可以帮我翻译，我等一下再简单的翻一下好了，好不好？好，那你就 continue keep going, okay? Then I'll kind of brief summarize. I think that keep the flow going.
Yeah, so I kind of just want to share my college experiences. So I've been in Cornell for 3 years already, and not gonna lie, been like like times when it's really happy and times when I cried a lot in college, if that makes, just to put it more simply. Yeah, I just want to share a little bit about like my academic struggles. I think that has been the biggest thing for me. So I think throughout my life, I've never really struggled with grades up until college. And in high school, I used to sleep at 9:30 p.m. every night. And then now in college, I sleep at 3 or 2 a.m. I think my sophomore year, I began to like struggle a lot with the classes I'm taking. One thing I learned that I took like 5 or 6 of the hardest class together, and I did a lot of extracurricular, and that was way too much for me. So I like learned that I'm a human, I have my limits, and not to like break that. But throughout that year, I started realizing that I was like comparing myself a lot with other people. It seemed kind of like I was always studying. I was always in the library. I tried my hardest. I could never see any improvements in my grade. And then my friends would have who have 4.0 GPAs and with like A+ in their tests. It's like being next to that really put me down a lot, and I started losing a lot of self-confidence in my own abilities. And I think from the academics, that kind of transcended through other areas of my life. So when I was leading meetings and doing things, I started losing a lot of self-confidence in the way I spoke and the way I did things. I felt like I wasn't good enough. Leading Bible study, I felt like I never knew what the right words were, or how to facilitate things. And that was a big struggle for these 2 years, I think. But I think I learned that, I think through college I learned a lot that, my identity is I'm a daughter of Christ, I'm a daughter of God, and all of these things are trying to put me down, but that was the only thing I held on to. And I think, one thing I really want to emphasize is finding a Christian community is so crucial. My friends were the ones who always pointed me back to Christ. They would notice that I was going through a rough time, and they would pray for me, even though it was 1 a.m. or something. They would come over and they would pray for me. And it's just really encouraging to have brothers and sisters next to you, understand you, and go through your struggles with you together. And so I think through college I learned to be more vulnerable, kind of. Not to say that tell your problems to everyone, but having a few people to share your struggles with, and that you're not going through this alone. And also through college, I learned that grades were kind of an idol in my life, and there are times when I would get, when some people tell me that they have problems, they're sharing with me their struggles, I will listen to them, but then afterwards I'll be oh my goodness, they just wasted 3 hours of time, which is so bad of a thought. I felt I was always constantly running a schedule in my head, which I think most of it came because I was so packed with my with the things I was doing, the things I was learning from. So if I were to look back, I would definitely take it more chill. I would not cram all of those classes together, do all of those things together, but learn how to balance my academic life and then also ministry, my spiritual life with other people, fellowship with other people. I think also through college that kind of reflected I'm studying to be a doctor, to use that as a tool to help people, bring people to Christ, or spiritual healing and also physical healing. But I realized that when I was studying, like crammed up in the library all the time, like I was not doing that at all. So like, like I think one thing is just really learning how to balance that. Like I am a student, of course, and my job is to study, but like to rely more on God, I think is what I learned. That I don't have to study everything and like, study all the materials, but like, before I study to like pray, I think most of them like pray that like God will give me wisdom on like what to study, so I can use my time more efficiently, but also like be there for people when they need to. So that's like one thing, like my academic life.
Maybe you can continue. Okay, on this. 就刚刚他所讲，就是他的学业上的一些压力哈，因为别人都很容易就可以考到好的成绩，但是他要花很多时间，而且晚上要睡得很晚，还到2、3点才能睡觉，所以你这个功课的压力就很大。本来高中其实他都没有这样的压力的，可是到了好的学校去后，人家成绩比你更好，所以这时候你就需要很多需要有基督徒的团契、基督徒的朋友一起来跟你分担这些为你祷告所以这个因为功课压力大，他就没有很多自信了这是在学业上的压力。
Also another thing I want to touch on is like kind of like the importance of your physical health and how that really ties to your emotions and your spiritual health. I've had, I'll be honest, I had a lot of panic attacks in college. When I'm studying, I would be in the library and I would just like, oh my goodness, I just, my body would start reacting. One time I got kind of bad. I was studying, this is funny story, because I was studying cardiovascular system, and I was learning symptoms of a heart attack, and I had a kind of a panic attack, because panic attack is similar symptoms with a heart attack, but I thought I was having a heart attack, and then so I was like telling my friend was texting me like, oh my goodness, I think I'm having a heart attack. So I went to the ER that day, but it was also really cool because the nurses came over and gave me IV and like saw all of this, like the medical procedures. So I had a lot of fun. But I think really take care of your physical health. Like have rest. That's something I learned. Like you don't have to work all the time. God made a Sabbath for a reason. We're not meant to be superhumans to do everything, but to rest, and like it's okay to take even a day off of from your work and your study. Even though it might seem like you have so much, but that really plays a role in your emotions. Like I felt very unmotivated. This school felt very unmotivated. I just finished studying for a big test for medical school, and I felt very unmotivated. I also realized I wasn't eating very nutritiously. I wasn't getting all my nutrients, and so that really affected my mood and my emotions, and also affected my spiritual life as well. There were times I just didn't want to get out of bed, and I even questioned a lot. I questioned God a lot this semester, this past semester, why is it like college, these 3 years I never had a period of rest. I'm always constantly working and constantly having problems and struggles, and questioning God about his goodness. A lot of my emotional struggles really play, I started realizing that I was taking a nutrition class this semester, so I started realizing that I really wasn't getting all my nutrients in. So I started getting all of that, getting my protein, my veggies, my vitamins and everything, and that helps me a lot. So physical health is very, very, very important.
Okay, then you can give me some time to prepare for next talk. 所以因为学业的压力就造成身体上的压力，所以在身体上就造成很多不舒服，甚至在读书的时候，他就会有很多这种 panic 这种惊慌的这个所以还有一次要医院去看急诊的所以因为这些种种的压力从学习来的，造成身体的，然后也因为这样就造成属灵的压力，就是对上帝也会有疑问，说神啊，你到底在哪里？所以我想这是这个所面对的各方面这种压力，而且因为这样就是营养也不足甚至在学营养课的时候，就才发现自己其实都没有得到足够的营养。
Well, okay, well, I just want to move on. I feel like I have so much to share, but other people should talk. But like, welcome to ask me because I have so many things to talk about. But one thing is like for parents, I think I call my parents every day, and that has been a very big blessing. I think a big support system, someone who I can like share all the things I'm going through, and if I have like an exam, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have this like just someone to complain to, kind of like just to vent everything out. So I think like as parents, like yeah, like listen to your children, I guess, like try to be more of a listener rather than a talker. There are things that we go through that is sometimes very hard for parents to understand. But what we need is like someone to like tell us, okay, you have to do this and this and this, but just to like listen and like understand what we're going through, like empathize kind of. I think my parents have, in the beginning they were like, yeah, they're like, oh, you just have to study more. I'm sick of studying. But in the end, they started like, you know, really understanding like how much like stress I was going through, and they'd be like, okay, I'm praying for you. It's okay, it's fine. So that has been really a big help. Yeah, that's all kind of want to share.
所以很重要就是说给父母的建议哈，就是高兴我可以每天都有跟父母有打电话从父母那得到帮助。那希望父母在打电话在跟孩子沟通的这样做一个聆听者，而不是一个说教者让他们我们能够，因为他们所经历的并不是我们完全可以了解他的父母一开始并不是这个样子，后来成为一个聆听者，是给他们有更多的支持，也可以为他们多祷告能够知道他们所经历的。好，谢谢，我 thank you Rebecca for your share. Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I'm studying architecture at RPI. So a lot of my there's maybe different from a lot of you guys, but I'm going to try to share things that I think will be helpful. And I want to tell you guys, college, a lot might be redundant too, but college is going to be like one of the best moments of your life, but also maybe one of the worst. And I was homeschooled, so I don't really know like high school exactly, but going through college, like you go through so many highs and then you just go down. And so as soon as you go to college, I think you guys know it's like they have activities club, like go check out the Christian fellowships and immediately go, because if you're a week late or something, people have written down their groups and things and it's a little harder, so immediately just, that's your number one. And you can like try a few and see what fits you the best. And also go to a good church. Find a church that can help you grow spiritually and where you feel the presence of God. And a place that, because during the week you're going to be in all this studying and work, and a place that you can find God really just relieve you from everything. And I really am thankful for the church that I go to. And like architecture, like I need every single second of the day. And a lot of times my friends will be like, why are we going to church? Like we have a review the next day. And I'm like, no, I find like I regain my strength and energy. And sometimes I'm like, oh, not go to sleep and go to church and go to sleep for a few hours. And it's just like find a good church. Okay.
第一个就是要找到好的教会，然后找到好的基督徒团体。一开始不要晚一个礼拜，你就人家都找到好朋友，所以一开始赶快要找到好的基督徒团体，找到好的教会，在那里能够让你重新得力。
And I'm going to talk again about the parents. I think parents definitely like be there for your kids. I remember when I first got there, I would call my mom every single day and tell her everything that went on. But you also, like, as you gradually go on through college, then okay, you don't need to call your parents as much. And parents don't be nagging too. You don't like always call them up and like, how's your kids? Like, be there for your kids, and once in a while call, and then your kid is like, oh, my mom's calling me. And like, yeah, just like be supportive. And you know, sometimes we fail and we get so busy. But I remember just always like being able to be so stressed and emailing my mom this long rant email saying like if I'm failing in anything, and the next day my mom will send me an email and like just encourage me so much, and so that just really was so helpful.
跟父母这边就是能够常有沟通，但是 不要打，不需要每天打。开始的时候我就跟母亲有很多的分享，有时候甚至用电子邮件，那我母亲就会给我写很多鼓励的话啊，所以呀，适可而止。
Okay, and so us, I don't know, okay. Satan is there to tempt you, and you have to make sure that you are so strong and fully connected with God. I want you to always be praying, like constantly. I remember waking up in the morning and showering and just pray to God, and as you're walking to class, just constantly being in contact with God. And so that is going for like your friend groups. You can find like Christian friends, but they may not be the right Christian friends. And there's all these different types of Christian friends, and Christian friends that, oh, it's okay to party and drink and get drunk, and the next day serve at church, go to church, like. And then there's those Christian friends that like are good, but they don't have the same exact mindsets as you and views. And that was hard for me because then they kind of led me down the wrong path. But then I still had always this one friend who had like the exact same values as I did. And it just helps so much. So I want you to make sure that you find like a range of friends and make sure you at least have that one person that can keep you accountable at school. Because friends back here, they don't know what's going on there. You can hide things from them. But if you have someone that you see all the time there and can meet up with, that really helps. And then make sure you stay in contact with your friends back home here too, because those friends at college, you've just met. And so they don't know a lot about you. And if you can continue like telling and venting to your friends back here, they can really help you a lot and always be there for you.
这基督徒的朋友非常的重要，但是你要看跟你要对等的基督徒。有些基督徒可能他可以前天晚上去醉酒，隔天又去教会服侍，所以你要找到合适的，跟你同样的对信仰很重视的那需要当地的基督徒跟你知道你不要做错，但是你同时要跟原来教会的基督徒有联系，因为他们知道你很久了，所以一些事情会比你在学校的朋友能够更多帮助你。所以学习在大学每天都是撒旦都会来试探我们，所以你要很谨慎。
I'm going to talk a little bit about party life. Because I think we always just talk about Christian, but this is really something big. And all of your friends are going, I don't know, well maybe because of my personal, or like the friends I found, but they're always just going to ask you to go. And at the beginning of the year, everybody's going to want to go. And just like, it doesn't hurt, just go. And I can tell you that. I did go to one with my friends. And you just have to make sure your intention. What is your intention in going? And my intention was because the next day was a holiday. We had off, like our school has a special day. And so we were all going to go together with my group of friends. And they're my close group, and I know all their values and everything. And so we just went and had fun together, and we didn't do anything, just. And so that's like, and then I never went again. But like, just make sure your intentions are right in whatever you do, not just like, oh, I want to try, like, oh, let's just see. Like, make sure you know what's going to happen there. And so I knew where I was going, and I knew who I was going with, and so that's why I did go to that one. But after that, they were like, oh, come with me again. I'm like, no, because it wasn't for the same reason. It was just to get drunk and everything. I guess last thing.
就是我刚才讲到关于 party， 就是你去参加这些，你要知道你的意图是什么要跟着你的朋友一起去不要一去以后就是来试看看喝酒那些所以你要知道你去的时候你的目的是什么我去过一次，后来我就没有再去。
So that goes to finding your friends. I'm thankful to have a group of friends that aren't Christian, but they like to watch movies and play board games on Friday nights because at my school it's small and like literally everybody just goes to your parties. And then I'm going to talk about Sabbath, and that's my last thing. So for my Christian club, they like strongly encourage you to take a Sabbath. And for me, I was like, no, like I'm not going to. Like there's no way I can, because first semester, I was just like waking up, going to studio, waking up, going to studio. I was like, there's no way I could take a Sabbath. But then I was one of the leaders, and they were like, I really want to encourage you to do that. And they shared a lot of testimonies how it actually helped them to manage their time well. And so I tried it, and oh my goodness, I got so much more sleep. And I don't know. So then I took my Sabbaths on Saturdays. And so all of that before, you just know work until that time comes, and then you know you have that time. It's just like, so a lot of time management and making sure that you have that time where you can fully relax in peace. And so it helps you also manage your time, because you know to work before that time comes, instead of just like, okay, I'll finish as much as I can, and then when I have like a break, I'll take a break. Like you're never gonna have that break unless you really say you're not gonna have that time, like Sabbath.
我再来讲，就是要有一段安息的时间啊，因为大学是非常忙的，你可能一直都没有时间可以休息。那我星期六是我的安息的时间，因为我知道这一段安息的时间，所以我礼拜一到礼拜五就非常努力的读书，然后我知道在礼拜六我就可以有一段休息的时间，让你能够再重新得力。
Okay, last thing. I want to encourage you to be good students and good people of Christ, because when you're out there, I learned a lot from my Christian club. It's not just about fellowship with your Christians, but you're learning a lot about evangelism. And just being friendly to anybody you meet, not even your friends, but like your classmates, the people you sit next to. There were a lot of times when they knew that I was a Christian, and just they were like in their low parts, or they were dealing with sexuality or something, and they would come to me and just say like, oh, I heard the Christian fellowship is having this, like, can I go with you? And I was like, yeah, sit with me. And I told them like, oh, I'll always look for you, if you need a talk, let me know. And just like always being those people that don't judge different groups, and like just be helpful to people too. If you know something and you know how to be helpful, be willing to share it, and just, I don't know, because like just being a good light of Christ on campus. Be good, be respectful to your professors. You don't know when you'll need a recommendation letter from them, or need them to help you with something. Just being a good Christian on campus. Yeah.
最后一个就是要有好的见证在校园里面，甚至对那些非基督徒朋友，他们知道你是基督徒，他们需要帮助的时候，他就会找你，经常帮忙。所以我们是各方面在整个学校生活要成为一个好的基督徒的见证。Thank you, Katie.
Hi, I'm Sammy, and I'm a child performance major at Carnegie Mellon University. So for me as a freshman, it was a really big adjustment the first semester in college. And I remember that I was thinking, oh, like so many people are talking about how they're going to get over it in like for such a short time. And, like it's going to take me a month to get over it. Like my sadness and I'll be fine. But it actually took me the whole year to like get used to college life. And it's really hard, so don't kind of underestimate how easy it's going to go the first semester. I think what really helped me is staying in contact with people back home. That for me was like the biggest comfort. And even though a lot of my friends made fun of me, they're like, oh, you're calling your parents like 3 times a day. And I was like, yeah, but it helps me. And it actually does, because like your parents, they worry so much about you when you go away, and just seeing them like being there for you, like wanting to know about your struggles and everything, that was like a really, really big comfort for me, and that helped me go on in a way. And one thing that I set my mind to doing right away as I got to college was finding a Christian fellowship, and that is something so important, like especially for me. Because I knew that once I was involved in the Christian community, then I would not be too involved with like being worried about adjusting to school and everything. So I spent about the first week looking for a fellowship. Like I would just dove right in. I was like, okay, there's a new fellowship here, there's a new fellowship there, which one should I go to? So I tried around with like 3 or 4 different fellowships. I attended like 2 churches a week to see which one would fit with me. And I think that part is really important. You have to kind of know what you're looking for in a fellowship, and like some fellowships could be like really strong in like praise and worship, and other churches could be like strong in community. But I think it's really good to find one that really suits your personality and what you need in your spiritual life. So for me, I found this group who had just moved to Carnegie Mellon, just as they came all the way from California, Berkeley. And they were new, they were fresh in Carnegie Mellon, like they didn't really know what they were doing. But I joined them like right when they were starting off, and that gave me motivation to move on and to do things for God. And I wasn't too focused on like doing well in my academics. But later on, I realized that my major, being a music major, it was kind of difficult for me because like there's so many smart people in Carnegie Mellon, and for me, I was just like, oh, all I had to do was like practice a few hours of cello a day and stuff. So for me, I was kind of pressured into doing more work and kind of to prove myself that I'm kind of more than a cello major, performance major. So like if you feel like you're getting competitive with people, for me, that really put me down and really made me kind of turn away from doing things for God. Because when I first went to college, my mindset was to do things for God and only for God, like with my music. But then I started thinking about doing other things just because people were like better than me and stuff. So yeah, I really had to change my mindset about that, and yeah, kind of just redirect my life to, because I would think to myself, oh, I'm studying so much, but like what for? So the reason you should study is basically for God. Like your desire should be solely for God, everything that you do.
Maybe rest a little bit, okay. 好，OK，大学真的是不容易的哈，所以开始的时候真的有很多压力，但是感谢我可以跟父母每天，有时候甚至一天打好几次电话，甚至同学都嘲笑我，但是真的对我有很多帮助啊，所以不要吝啬跟父母跟家里人来联络。另外那个一定要赶快找到这个基督徒的团体。一开始我就还有教会，就花很多时间看哪一种比较适合我，我们能够赶快进去还有一个就是不要有那种很竞争的心理。当我们一开始有竞争的心理的时候，你就给自己很多压力。我们继续学习，你要有这些我们学习这些是为神来做的这些事情。
Yeah, another thing I want to talk about is friends. I think that's like one of the most important things too for me. At first, I was very involved with the kids from my major, the music major, and at first I was very desperate to kind of fit in with them because they were such a tight community, and if you weren't part of that community, you were kind of left out, like as a solo artist doing your own thing. And like, oh, there goes that solo artist, oh, that doesn't like want to join in our activities and stuff. So yeah, that was me for a while. And for that, I kind of made up for that by spending all of my time with my Christian fellowship. Again, I'm going to mention my fellowship again, because like that takes up like literally 80% of my college life, I would say. So like any chance I had, I would like involve myself in church activities. I would kind of reach out, do ministry, like evangelize and like reach out to students on campus and things like that. And that helped me kind of be satisfied with who I was and that I was doing this for God. Also, a little bit about partying. It's very tempting to do that your first week, especially during orientation, and everyone wants to like ask you out to do stuff. But I remember when one of my friends asked me out to a party, I got so scared and I called my parents and I was telling them, okay, so I'm going to go to this party tonight, but don't worry, I'm not going to drink or do anything. So I called my parents before the party and I went, and I was basically just sitting there and watching people do stuff all the time. So yeah, I only went for an hour and then I walked back home by myself and I was thinking, yeah, I don't want to do this again. So yeah, that was, it's okay, like Katie said before, it's okay to like try to do it just because, oh, I just want to like hang out with my friends and like it's a special occasion, like it's the first week of school and everything. But after that, it's important to know like why you're going to parties, because it could become a habit like really quickly. I know a lot of people who they fell into like a habit of going into parties every night, even like some kids from my fellowship, and they would stop coming to church, and they would get injuries from like the frat parties they would go to, and they would make excuses for not coming to church because, oh, I got a concussion, I lost my glasses, I lost my phone. And then I was like, you see, this is why like we need to think about the things that we do. Yeah.
所以另外一个就是关交友的问题啊，很多因为音乐系是个很这个小的团体，所以你如果不跟人家有交流的时候，你就会被排斥掉。另外就是有关这个宴 party 这个事情啊，就特别第一个礼拜会有很多这样的试探啊。我记得第一次去的时候，还跟我父母说我现在要去 party 了哈，那我第一次去，我是在那里看一看的时候，我第1个小时就出来了啊，就是要很注意你去的目的是什么啊。后来就没有再去了，因为很多同学就变成一个习惯了，真的每天就去，然后甚至基督徒也去。后来以后，你慢慢的你就远离教会了，就找到很多借口，就不再去教会了。
Yeah, and I think the last thing I want to touch upon is how, yeah, Satan is like really desperate to kind of not get you thinking about God. So that for me was, my mind was like occupied with other things, like I was occupied with thoughts about my past and how I wouldn't be able to do anything in college and how I was kind of behind other people. And that kind of got me stuck for a very long time. And I would still go to my fellowship and all, but I kind of had no hope for myself, and I was in a place where I didn't think I could move on, so I kind of just gave up. But that's exactly what Satan wants you to think. He wants you to be stuck in that place, and he doesn't want you to like go beyond, like think outside the box. So for me, what helped me is I remember this retreat that I went to. We call it the East Coast Retreat because a lot of campuses from the East Coast, including Carnegie Mellon, we all gathered in Washington, D.C., and we spent like 2 nights together at this giant retreat. And one of the main topics was about confession and about just opening up to people, because I think that's a struggle that a lot of people, especially college students, will face, is they don't want to be open about like what they're going through. And yeah, that for me, that was the first time that I kind of confessed that what I was going through, that I wasn't doing well in school, and that I needed to like redirect my intentions and my desires. So yeah, I think just stay involved in your church and be really active and be aware that Satan is like trying to just bring you down whenever he can, even with like the smallest thoughts. So yeah, stay strong in God and like spend time. Like you can always take time out every day just to like read the Bible or like think about God and meditate on the Bible, because even those short periods of time throughout the day will keep you going. And like for me, it was really helpful to memorize Bible verses, because like that would stick through me throughout the day. And at one point, I was like writing them down on my wrist and like looking at them. Like when I was like going through a hard time before a test, I would just look at my wrist and I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. So yeah, that was something that helped me a lot. So yeah.
撒旦是很真实的，他会来攻击我们，特别当有时候就来控告我们的过去，还有我们这些做的不好。所以我在学校里面也有很多这样的挑战，真的需要一些团体来帮助我们去参加一个教会的校园的退休会就在那里学校我们来敞开我们自己让神来工作甚至每天的读经背经对我很有帮助，有时候把经文就写在我的手上这样整天我都会来看那个经文来鼓励我所以这样的帮助我来度过这些挑战。Thank you so much. All right, now next, only guys, Jimmy.
So I want to start with partying. party school. People study hard during the day, during the week, and on weekends, we want to take a break. We deserve a break. So people went to parties where there's alcohol. So alcohol. I just. So yeah, just for a while, I want to forget about schoolwork. So alcohol provides a great escape from reality. But the tricky thing about alcohol is that if you drink too little, it doesn't work. If you drink too much, it's bad. It's gonna cause some problem. It's unhealthy. And if you drink just the right amount, well, it's another tricky thing. You never know, especially at a party. Right?
我要先从 party 开始讲啊，因为我们知道为什么大家会去 party。我去的学校不是一个 party 的学校，大家都很好笑，大家都很用功读书。但是到了周末的时候，我们需要一个休息，但是就是只有去 party， 然后你去 party 会有酒，那酒呢，anyway 都有到酒就是。
Okay, another thing is it's difficult to have close friends in college because everyone has different schedule, everyone's busy. It's difficult to have a time to sit down and talk. So some people go to party for socializing, but and also the alcohol. Some people think it gives you more confidence. But it doesn't make you confident. It actually makes you numb. Makes you stop caring about the words you say or hear. Yeah. So.
在学校里面其实是很难交到好的朋友，因为大家都非常的忙，有时候时刻表也不一样所以大家有时候去 party 的时候，其实是想找那些朋友，但是因为你喝酒以后呢，你就不晓得你不知所言了所以这些反而不能找到好的朋友。
So should you avoid going to party at all? No, I'm saying don't go to a party to escape. Go to good parties where you can. You don't have to get drunk to have fun. Go to parties where you can have meaningful conversations with others.
所以我看就是去 party， 你不是要去一个逃脱也不是要去醉酒，而是去那里能够跟人家有好的交流，能够有一些好的沟通。
So how do you know if a party is a good party? I would check if they're dressed. I would say usually people don't want to puke on expensive suits. But sometimes it's difficult to find those parties. I have another tip, or a few tips. First, have really good friends. Start with your roommates. My first semester in college, I lived in a single room, and that was the worst time in my college. So make a friend. I think you know how to do that.
所以要看 party 好不好，只是看他的穿的衣服很正式的话，就比较安全一点。还有要一些朋友、一些室友一起去能够帮助。第一学期我就单身的房间是我大学是最不高兴的一个学期。
Another tip is if you want to take a break, have a hobby. College is a great place for a hobby. It has the best gym, big library, and instruments, and dancing class. So a hobby is something you can focus on and forget about everything else for a while. And during the process, you can improve your skill, expand your knowledge.
所以另外一个可以来代替的就是你要培养一些好的嗜好，在大学里面有很多机会，你可以来健身啊，或者学一些乐器啊，培养不同的嗜好，你都可以来取代那些要借由这些 party 来解脱一些你的心事里面。
So can gaming count as a hobby? Yeah, yes. Well, I would say there's a famous YouTuber in China. He played a lot of games and he knows about the game. He can tell me what part of the game is based on history, which part is fiction, and also why is the game so popular, and what technologies they use. If you can go beyond gaming itself, then it can count as a hobby. But to be honest, most of the time I just want to kill some time, just want to play. But if you decide to do that, there's nothing wrong. Just don't forget to set a timer. I'll tell you a story. There was one time after dinner, I decided to take a break. There was a new game just came out. I gave it a try. I said I'll just play for 2 hours. And the next thing I heard was my morning alarm. So I was trapped in that game for 10 hours. Or more.
所以有一次我要玩电动，本来是说2个小时，结果我闹钟设了2个小时，结果下次天闹钟响的时候是我早晨那个闹钟响，其实我已经玩了10个小时。
Yeah, so always. So my only tip for time management is that if you have a bunch of work to do, start with your least favorite.
另外一个给你提，你要有好时间管理。如果要开始做一事情，就是做你先不喜欢做的事情先做。
Alright, let's talk about my Christian life in college. A lot of people think college is an evil place, but not really. Well, you Christians, religious people, like we have as much rights as those non-believers. College is a free place. You can practice your religion freely, and you should take advantage of that.
所以大学不是说只是一个邪恶的地方，我想其实是一个可以我们来自由来选择我们信仰的地方。
The problem with me was it was really inconvenient to get to a church at first because I didn't have a car. The transportation was not great in Rochester. And also I was busy with schoolwork, so I didn't want to go to church. I couldn't wake up. And I thought reading Bible alone and believing God alone was good enough. But the truth is, I never felt God's presence when I was alone. Never.
所以因为我的学校的教会不方便去，一开始我没有车子，所以而且我不能起早，所以有阵子没有去。但是就是说，其实我以为说可以自己读经祷告就可以，但是每一次这样，其实我并没有经历到神的同在。
So you need to go to church to praise and to worship God, and you need to go to a cell group to have fellowship.
所以你要去教会，也要去小组。
It is very important, and actually later for the problem I couldn't get up early. I actually decided to serve at church and to have a job, like a job, to volunteer. So that made me have a sense of responsibility. So I had to wake up.
所以后来我就开始在教会有服侍，我就让我有一个责任感。 我要到教会去。From next week, you open the door at 9 o'clock.
I can't do that, but my mom can make it.
哦，妈妈听了。
Yeah, you should encourage yourself.
我妈妈一起来开中堂的门。
Yeah. So if you think you're busy, then like Katie said, Sabbath is something really good. Just spend one day, stop working, and just enjoy life. I think about it.
所以像刚刚 Kate 讲的，要有一个安息日，我们可以就来跟神有也让我们自己有休息的时间。
That's it.
OK，OK， 那我们现在就 open 了，你可以说你要指明要问谁啊，或是说的 in general， 那看他们谁可以发问一下。OK， 那我先 we open up， so if any question 啊，可以呀，好，举手来。
首先第一位，说你是朋友是不是啊？因为可能有那个机会哈，但是我不是很清楚，就是会拍。我想知道说，你们朋友那个 fellowship 是，如果这个朋友很大，他有上万的学生，但是 fellowship 是怎么样的情况？是好几个呢，还是怎么样去慷慨？因为你一去那边当然这么多，你不知道怎么样联系。
So very good question.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I understand you.
我是让大家也知道这个问题是什么。So her question is such big campus, actually a private, every school. How do you find out the right group? So
Yeah, okay. I think one thing that I'm very blessed about Cornell is, yes, there's a lot of people. I hope I'm speaking English is okay. Okay, but there's a lot of people. Yes, the campus is huge, but there are so many. The Christian community is so strong there, and so within like the first few weeks, there's like we have things called like outreach, new student outreach. So all the fellowships, and there's like a lot. There's like the biggest one, like crew, she attends there, and there's like 200, I don't know, around 200 people. There's a lot of fellowships and a lot of churches, and we have like a barbecue in the first few weeks where with all of these fellowships and churches, and like specifically for the freshmen to meet them. And yeah, we're so big into like outreach and like getting new students to come to their fellowship. So I wouldn't say like contacting. The biggest problem is choosing what fellowship or church to go to. There's so many.
Open house, they have a display.
Yeah, that's within the first 3 weeks. And there's like we have club fest with all the clubs too, and there's this fellowships there too, entries as well. Contact me too. I got you.
所以特别在前几个礼拜，像我们的学校会有很多这些开放的这些让大家能够来参与的认识。Any you want to add something? How do you find a day? Very good. How do you find? Or how about Sunny? How do you find the one you attend? So many.
Well, there was a lot of advertising that I saw.
Around campus. So like they would have billboards of like different groups, and I would like read in detail like, oh, what is this group like? What is their focus, and when do they when do they meet? What do they do? And like when is their small group and stuff like that. But for me, it was kind of by chance because I was just walking along campus and I saw on the sidewalk this in big letters, Calasis Fellowship, like come here for fellowship. And I was like, I'm gonna go to this. So I went. And that was the last fellowship that I tried going to out of the 4 other places that I went. And I don't know if it was the way they like welcomed me, but I felt very at home with them because a lot of what they do kind of reminded me of my church here, this church. So I felt very connected with the people, and they were very open about getting me involved. And yeah, I think it's important for a fellowship that actually reaches out to new students and wants them to be involved with the church work. So yeah.
I want to add something. Actually, it's my own tip. Anything that pray before you go in, pray, and ask for the sign. Remember when Abraham sent his servant to find a wife for Isaac, right? Before he entered the town, he said, "Whoever falls to the camel, do something." So I think same thing. Before you go into open house, pray. God give me some sign that this is the place you want me to connect, right? Maybe the first one you can join, but you can start to feel it. So I think the Holy Spirit will guide you to the right route. 让圣灵来带你进去前你就先祷告，求圣灵来帮助你。还有没有下一个问题？
对不起啊，我首先要谢谢哈，我刚刚忘了谢谢啊，你们真的讲的太棒了 ，very important 啊，然后我回去真的是让我这满满的一桌的时候 ，very very good 哈，但是我就想到那个 SAP 的问题，就是 SAP 就是那个休息这个 break 哈。这个事情我就在想说，如果说礼拜天去教会的重要性，那等于也就是 take a big chunk of the day off， 对不对？你们去 church 之外，可能也有一些那个 events， 或者也许有一些 Bible study， 然后你们又礼拜六，听你的意思就要休息一天，那么我的意思是在你要真的可以 afford。I didn't say you cannot take it off， 一定要休息一下，但是我以为是说，好像礼拜六晚上休息，或者是礼拜五晚上休息。然后第二天再继续念书，然后礼拜天的时候就是 before your time to the church, right? So I mean， 这样听起来好像讲起来你差不多休息2天。It's I'm sorry to say I know, but I want to give my son a right direction, so I ask your
讲到这个安很好的问题讲这个安息细节上是怎么安息的
Yeah, sorry, I didn't explain correctly. It's like a Sabbath is any day you want to take. So for me, church was only in the morning. I only went to church for an hour and a half. I didn't have Bible studies, something afterwards. But you can take your Sabbath on Sunday. You don't have to do it Saturday and then Sunday. So it's whatever fits your schedule when to take it. I know some people took it Friday night to Saturday night and then Saturday evening they can start working. It's just whatever time fits you best. 24 hours, no longer than that. So it's not Saturday to Sunday, both days. And for me, Sabbath helped me to, after Sabbath was over, I was I can't wait to work, I can't wait to do my work again, and it helped me to focus and do my work so much faster. Whereas if I just I have all of Saturday, all of Sunday, it slowed me down. I was I still have more time, I never fully got to relax. So that's why I found taking the Sabbath was helpful. And so I took the Sabbath on Saturday because on Sunday, well, I don't know if I'm saying correct, but yeah, Sunday I only had church service. I did not have other activities. That's why I did it on Saturday.
Maybe you can share Saturday. What do you mean? Whole day and what do you do during the Saturday?
Oh, okay. So Saturday, sleep in. I slept in and got my sleep and everything. And then I would take time to. For me, you define what you say is work. So for me, anything related to my classes. My architecture classes was work. So I took music classes, so I would practice. I would use that time to practice. I would go to the gym. I would go to the farmer's market. I would eat with my friends. Or just that was my Sabbath. And then, that's what I did, yeah.
The whole day?
Yeah, because I wake up late. Sometimes 2, 3 p.m. Get all my sleep then, and then just relax. And then right after church, you do your work. It was just a really good way to refuel yourself and get yourself excited to do your schoolwork again.
So in other words, you get involved with the church over there, right? So you just go there for the service. After that, you left immediately. So in other words, here, the church, right? We have a lot of functions, events, so you don't get involved.
Yeah, it's different. At my church, I did help with Sunday school, but it was American church, so right after that, we just come back. But I was involved in my fellowship a lot, and so on Friday nights, on Saturday nights, we would sometimes have worship nights and things like that, so I would do anything a fellowship could be on Saturday too. So it's super different.
Okay.
所以可能不需要一整天，只 谢。我觉得 sales 主要存在意义是让你的精神能够放松。我这样打个比方，就是我有的时候做的最坏的一个梦，就是梦见我在爬楼梯，结果梦醒了我还没有爬。虽然我没有真的爬楼梯，但我还是觉得很累。所以有的时候你学习的时候精神压力很大，你想要放松一下，躺在床上，但是脑子里想的还是学习，你没有真正的得到放松。所以 sales 存在意义是让你能够清空你的脑子里这些事情，让你能够更好的放松。
Okay, Daniel. What
What are the students at our school like? For who? Oh, okay. Sorry for
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So Carnegie Mellon kind of specializes in computer science. So very geeky. Everyone is so smart. It doesn't matter what major they're in. So yeah, it was kind of hard for me to fit in because I was only good at music. But yeah, once you kind of like fit in with like their study patterns and everything, then yeah, it gets more natural hanging out with people like that. Yeah, once you get settled into your college community, it's gonna be easy to like go about your like schedule.
So it's difficult to conclude. Many different type of people at school. So I don't think I can conclude. College is all about variety, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would also say like Cornell is very big, so there's a lot of different groups of people, a lot of different ethnic, race, and culture, things like that. You have people who like study hard in the library, you have people who party a lot, you have a lot of frats and sororities actually. So you'll find a lot of different groups of people.
It's very different in my school. We have 7,000 or less undergraduate students, and like 80% are like weird. I don't want to be mean, but like it's like okay, they're really like nerdy, but nerdy in a way where like they're super. Okay, me and my friends are really mean, and like sometimes sit at the dining room, cafeteria, and be like, I've never seen weirder people in my life. So anyway, okay, but I'm thankful that I'm in the architecture school, and there's like a lot of us are really normal and everything. But okay, the good thing is that even though they're weird, it's helpful for me because they're not more socially awkward than they are, so it helps me to be able to talk to everybody. So like I can talk to everybody because they're more socially awkward than I am.
每个学校都有它的特点哈，所以每个学校都不一样。OK， 所以还没有要 OK，
Thank you guys. I'm really grateful for you guys. I first have this time to share this. I have a question like as you're in college, right, and I'm sure your parents really influence you a lot. What like the experience shows you share one thing, what do your parents do like to experience your parents in your Christ? And that's one question. And also, can you share one support to the church to help you to grow in the spiritual life? Like just share one thing.
我们教会跟家庭怎么样来帮助你自己？得到什么？
The reason I asked is because my child is 4 years old. So last year to be a grandparents. Yes.
Wow.
I think I shared a little about the parents part, being more open, understanding, not pushing. but understanding where they're coming from, just like making sure that they are thinking it through and like making wise decisions along the way, but not like enforcing decisions for them. I think that's one thing for me. Yeah, because like I didn't have parents who like told me you have to be a doctor, you have to do this and this and this, because it's very, very stressful. So that was helpful. For church, I would say, I said all of those bad things before. I feel like I scared people off. But actually, through college, I grew the most. I've never truly, like, my spiritual life has grown so much since freshman year. It's kind of, I'm like very thankful when I look back from freshman year to now. And I think just, again, like, I think being with the church, with a group of friends, a group of people who you can like talk to and share your struggles, and like encouraging one another, and listening to what they're going through as well, and like praying together, reading the Bible together, and then also like accountability is a huge thing. Like I think spiritual disciplines is one thing that we should build upon like every day of our life. You know, reading the Bible, talking with God, that should be part of, it should be a habit. And so like having accountability with someone or a group of people that, you know, you're encouraging one another to read scriptures every day, to pray together. Yeah, I think that's like, yeah, that's.
I guess. Okay, so for parents, I think like the recently this is what we've always been talking a lot about. Is don't just like send your kids to church, you know, the church to your work. But you have to make sure that you yourself are reflecting what you want your children to become and how. And so like you parents being like nice to their kids at home and the whole time, like I said, and also like being open and supporting your children, but still giving them like a standard that they can, you know, like helping them to become the best that they can. For church, are you saying like in college or during high school, like going before going to college?
Like during the time that you know, a child to go to
Home church, I mean your home church, not a church in college.
I just say it's like, you know, from elementary school to high school, right? And so, you know, in this time, this long period of time, how did the church, you know, as a spiritual family to help you to grow? Like, you know, which, like, is it serving help you to grow more? Or is it like, you know, I just curious.
Cell group and Sunday and serving. Like definitely serving, yeah, helps to get you involved and make your faith active.
For me, what I found most helpful from my parents was that they were always asking me what my concerns were, and that always leaves a chance open for, I guess, your child to kind of have a chance to open up and tell his or her parents like what they're going through. And yeah, I think it's really important for parents, as my parents did this too, like they're always they're constantly reaching out to the kid, and not in a like annoying way, like, oh, how are you doing today, how are you doing today, like that kind of gets on your nerves and you don't really want to talk to your parents at that point. But I guess to an extent where you know that they're like really concerned about you and they want to like have a deep conversation with you. So yeah, I think that's really important that a parent has the patience to listen to what their child has to say. Yeah, it could be anything, even like small things, just like make the child feel that, my parents are listening to me no matter like what I'm going through. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. So yeah. As for church, starting from elementary school, I kind of grew up in this church, and I think what really helped me was, yeah, like Katie said, like being involved. Because like if you're not involved, you're basically just by yourself and like doing your own thing. But being involved in a church, it kind of makes you like do things that you wouldn't be comfortable doing by yourself. So that really helped me to grow spiritually and want to do more like in my future. So yeah.
time with my parents when I was young. I grew up in China. My mom moved here when I was 6. So I lived with my aunt. So I would say that the company of parents is really important. And also another suggestion for parents is that when you try to push your child to do something, just don't tell them, just go study, do something. It doesn't mean anything. Give them a specific plan. Help them make a plan. That's more helpful. So the church helped me as I grew up. I didn't have a good relationship with them all when I first came here. I have anger issue. Church uncle fixed that. He fixed that. Also, now I have much better relationship with them. I say it's very important to have good friends in church. Good pastors.
Okay, one more question. Okay, yes, go ahead.
I know you guys are very busy in college, but were you able to squeeze in any part-time jobs?
有没有时间去打工啊？可以赚钱的机会？
Yes, I tutor part-time. Again, it depends how you structure your schedule. Like you can choose what classes you can take. There's a minimum amount of credits you have to take and then a maximum. And as long as you like make sure you're not taking too much classes, there are a lot of, it's different from high school. It's not like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's like varies across the week, and you can put in a lot of extracurriculars and part-time jobs and stuff like that in your schedule.
I would say it's like what you feel would be helpful to you at your time there. So for me, I want to focus, you have a season for everything. I think college is like to focus on gaining and like learn and going to class and doing well in classes and having a good college life there. And it's like if you are able and you feel like you can like make your like experience, your college experience more full by getting a part-time job, like do it, but like don't like let it stress you out and take over for college life.
Yeah, I haven't had any opportunities to take up a job during my freshman year, but again, it has to do with like what your focus is that year. A lot of freshmen that I knew in college, they were so eager to get a job. They were like, oh, I'm going to take every opening I can find. And I was like, oh no, I cannot keep up with that. So for me, I just kind of did my time my first year. Like, I think it's important to like get settled in and know what you want to do before like really jumping into like, job searching. Again, it's like it suits your major or whatever your needs. So yeah.
Yeah, there will be time. There will always be time. It's not busy as you think. A lot of time I waste my time on games. Yeah, that's something I regret. And also, you should, if you want to do pizza delivery or something, just to help with the student loan, don't do that. It doesn't really help you unless you have a problem with serving people. Yeah, that may be a way. It could be because I used to like I didn't like to help people. I hate serving people. Then I started to serve at the church. So yeah, that helped me. But if you just work for the money, then maybe you should focus on something else, study or a real internship that will help your career.
我们有记者朋友在这里啦，有没有特别要问一下？ 啊，私下 OK 好。
我可不可以问最后一个问题？
你问还是？OK， 行，那没有问过的先问好不好
当然啦。
？OK，
So let's talk about the time management. So I know college is a lot of involved too much for all of you. You don't like I know it's for everyone about the finish and stuff, but what was the impact of actually in those classes and outfits and what I should think of freshman? Can you repeat the question? I guess I just want to know, like, to like what extent, like, how much students, and how did they know that, how, like, because I know, like, there's a point in college where there's something that you're supposed to put yourself out there, and you're supposed to push yourself to do things, but, is there, like, also something that you're doing too much?
怎么样取得一个平衡？特别第一学年你要参与到很多新的活动，不会去你自己去奔跑，就是怎么样在学校里面能够有 balance。Well, you want to do this way?
Okay, so do what is absolutely necessary first, and then add something else. So in my college, there are some courses that are required. So I took those courses first, and some other course, it's not required, but I like doing that technique. But you should read the syllabus carefully, because 1 year I took linguistic, and I realized I had to hand 30-page paper in the end, so I had to like withdraw from that class. And remember my other tip: if you have a bunch of work, do the least favorite one. If it's not.
For me, I kind of just like looked at all of my required courses for this semester, and I decided from there if I had room, if it was worth it to add an extra course to my schedule. But I know so many of my music friends who were crazy about filling up their schedule to the max. And at one point, I was like begging them to like just take it easy because they were all like overwhelmed with the workload. And like I remember telling them before that this is your freshman year, like you need to like kind of get used to the flow of college, your own major, and like get comfortable with that first. So yeah.
For me, it's different architecture, so anytime I wasn't doing anything, I had to go to the studio and do my work. But for me, what helped with time management, and I don't know, this is just for me, making my schedule busy, so literally like back to back to help me keep going. If I had like too much time, then I would be lazy and like take too long to procrastinate. So I had like outside my classes, I had work study, and then Christian fellowship, a lot of stuff with that. I joined this organization, they had a few meetings and things like that. I joined chamber ensemble class and had a practice for that too. And so keeping a schedule, I'm sure like you guys are good at like keeping a schedule, but just like making sure and planning out and then eating and stuff like, I don't know, for me it was like having back to back was helpful, but like, and then I had my Sabbath, and that's when I took my break, and like, just would lie there on bed for like 5 minutes, and then
Yeah, I think one thing like freshman year, don't take as much, like just focus on just classes and like just settling in. Don't really do much extracurricular. But we do, when I have a problem of, maybe same thing like Katie, I have a problem of putting too much on my plate. And so what I do, I write them all down on a sheet of paper, and kind of for each one I pray, and like I ask God, okay, what do you want me to do? What is my vision for this? How do you want me to like play a role in this particular extracurricular? And I like pray that for each one. That helped me cut out a lot of other things that I feel like I like have the desire to do, but I just can't have the physical capability of doing. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. And then telltale sign is if you're tired and if you don't have time for yourself and don't have time for God, that means you're doing too much.
Any other, especially I think that for the senior. Any other question? High school senior. 那最后一个你 别好啊。你还有你刚不是在读的？
I was from parents, so it's always bothering me. Why? Biggest problem. Okay. I'm now pretty much close with my son, my younger one. However, my question is, now he's high school, right? When he get home, it's very good. They call me, "Hi, mom, I'm home." I said, "Okay. How was your day? What are you doing?" And it's just like it's very hard to get a conversation. Because so you guys talking about we have a deep conversation, right? But then you're like, fine, okay. And that's it, enough. If I get home, I say, how was your day? Fine. Is it okay? Fine. So how to really get a conversation? Because you guys say it's like deep conversation, and also don't always ask the same question. You just start way out. You have a lot of homework, so that's not the right question to ask, right? So can you give me the insights? How I'm going to ask?
I respond like that to my parents sometimes because that's kind of mean. So I would say that once in a while, not every day, and you can start by saying things just a little bit about what happened in your day, but not like complaining, just like, oh, like what you did, or just like, and then they'll gradually then I'll say, oh yeah, and I'll tell my parents what happened today, or sometimes just like hi, okay, that's fine, just be smiling, and just let them, they came back from school, they want to just be in quiet and peace.
So they say, fine, okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
just like, here's some fruit, here's some food. Pre-charge, and later on they'll come out and tell you stuff, and yeah.
So I don't have to go to that. But another sense is, I grew up with my child, very close with younger ones. But why not you think it's a stay away farther the better, away from mom? I mean, can you give me some reason why? Maybe
Yeah.
Why your son?
yeah, I mean, but it's just only possibility, right? We go together, go to church, go to the vacation together. But right now, when you go to college, you want to stay away the further from me, the better. You want to go to California. Oh. Okay. Or you can go to the school on the east have equals have something go to college.
Everybody has their stages, and I think no one's a perfect parent, no one's a perfect child, and you just need to just always be there for your child, and they'll always come back and want you. When they're at college, you're gonna be like, oh my God, come back.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it might be they just want. I think there is a stage when we just want to be independent and we want to support our own life and what we're going through. And yeah, I call my parents every day, but 70%, 80%, 90% of our conversation is how are you? I'm fine. How's everything? And that's totally okay. I think one thing is just when there is a time, to just be open, that you are available, and when there is a time for them to share something, and you can say that to them too. If there's anything that you're going through, tell me. I'm here for you. Yeah, so it's totally okay to say I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Maybe your son feel like you treating him as a kid. He wants to feel like an adult. And also the question you ask your son, "How are you today?" I would say that's kind of meaningless. What do you expect? It's yeah, to us, what? Because I get asked this question every day by anyone. My family too. Excuse me, but I think it's good to share your experience with your child. If they don't want to talk, maybe they can listen. Sometimes it's good to discuss your problem with your son. Ask for their opinions. You should really treat them as equal, as adults.
Yeah.
If you treat them as kids, they will stay kids.
Thank you.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, adding to that, I grew really close with my mom because recently she would kind of just communicate with me a lot more. She would also tell me about a lot of her problems, and for that, it gave me a connection with her that I never had before, like in high school, because I felt like, oh, she can rely on me, she can trust me, and that's a really important feeling for a child to have about their parent, feeling that they can be relied on, they can be talked to, like even with adult issues. So yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow. I feel a lot. You done it? Yeah, we learned a lot. Yeah, and I'm really also so proud of our young people. They all grew up. They are done now. They are done. Thank you. Wow, yeah, thank you for everybody here. Thank you especially parents, and hopefully that next year we have another senior. Next year we'll be sitting here to share your experience. All right. Hopefully it was a good experience. All right. How about this? Let's close with prayer. All right. Let's all stand up. Let's all stand. Father God, we pray to thank you that you keep us in the different stage of our life, and we know the college life is very, very unique and special. That we cannot repeat the life easily. Lord, I just pray for those who are already in college and those who are going to college this September. Lord, you especially with them. For what we have learned today, Lord, that you also that can help them to have a new journey, new experience, to grow their life and to grow in the relationship, especially with the parents, with the friends around at home. Lord, that use us every experience, Lord, we can come close to you, we can grow, and we can serve you and serve others. We thank you for this community. We thank you for so many young people that's willing to open up to share. Lord, we know you have a great work plan in this church, and our young people here, may they all rise up to serve, to impact this world. And we, as parents, Lord, will continue to know how we should support, how we should guide them. We thank you, Lord, for this afternoon. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you.